Ooh, spooky. Welcome back, everybody, to Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster. I'm Tails Fyraga. How about we get into it? In the last episode, we got our very first jobs and went through the Torna Canal. Now we are at the ship graveyard, which is probably the inspiration for the Siren Song C from Final Fantasy XIV, now that I think about it. Because you fight a siren of some kind in that. It's full of undead enemies, it's a ship graveyard, and hey, Karlabos makes an appearance in that dungeon too. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to make a dungeon that's just, oh, it's a ship graveyard, but I think it is just some references to Final Fantasy V, which makes sense, because Stormblood liked its Final Fantasy V. And its Final Fantasy VI. It liked that Final Fantasy series. Who would have thought? Anyway, this dungeon is filled with a lot of undead enemies and some weirdos too. If you're wondering, yes, undead enemies means that you can damage most of the enemies here with cure spells. And they will also die instantly if you hit them with Raise, or Arise, or if you hit them with a Phoenix Down. Basically, anything that heals is going to hurt these guys, and not everything that hurts is going to heal these guys, obviously. Some of the enemies here, however, do kind of take a little bit of a nasty approach. Skeletons are very weak to fire. However, these Calcruthals, these slugs, are not weak to fire. They are actually immune to fire, which we saw earlier. I think they're immune to anything that isn't, like, just physical attacks or healing. I think they might be one of those enemies that's just immune to all the elements. Regardless, though, they still fall pretty much as easily as the skeletons do. Inside this room is a chest with a tent. And going down here is more skeletons. Maybe I should name every skeleton we come across. I'm sure that would be a great gimmick to this video that wouldn't be annoying at all. To be fair, everything I do is annoying. One thing I also didn't mention as well, Kick ignores row bonuses. I think. It ignores the enemy ones for sure. But I'm not about to put Lena in the back row right now, just a test of her kicks will still deal full damage from the back row. I'm pretty sure Kick does, but if I'm wrong, future Tales, that's your problem now, not my problem. Come on here and... do we have to go this way? We'll get soaked. What, are you gonna melt or something? Come on. Time to dive into the water. You might think that in the water your fire spells aren't going to be as effective. And the answer to that is a solid... no, they still do full damage. Galuf, you're getting hit by attacks quite a bit. You're gonna be alright there, champ. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine. He's a tough old coot. Who I may have accidentally turned into Jesus now that I think about it. Don't worry about it. More enemies, including the Undead Husk. Undead Husk is the most powerful enemy in this dungeon, but it also gives a pretty big AP reward if you kill it. They're also the only undead thing here that isn't, like, weak to fire, but on the other hand, they are very weak to... oh, never mind, they only gave 1 AP for that encounter. What a ripoff! Can't believe they would rip me off like that. Okay, that's the way to go. Alright, are you gonna give me something if there's just one of you? Or are you just gonna punch Galuf in the face? I mean, yeah, I guess you could do that. No? Okay, I guess they just give 1 AP. I thought they gave like 2 or 3 for some reason, but I guess not. Also, something I should probably do real quick. Let's put some job skills on. Especially you get focus. The others don't really have anything they can really use right now. So all not just to equip focus. You get a 1 get-out-of-jail-free card for a fight. Not that this skeleton, who I'm going to name... William McBilliam. There we go. William McBilliam is no more. He's been evaporated. He's been turned to milkshake. Much like the Shredder. Well, the Shredder might have been vaporized to milkshake. It says that in all the Ninja Turtles games, but we'll never know for sure. Thankfully, a single fire spell will do all those skeletons in. We are getting a lot of MP now. Chest contained a potion, and I think we're close to the save point here. We are. I'm soaked. Yow, there's a fish in my shorts! This room seems safe enough. Let's take a rest. I'm going to change into some dry clothes. No peeking. Alright, meanwhile, we're gonna start a fire. I'm gonna do what everyone does. Strip naked in front of the fire. Okay, time to get dry. I'm fine like this. Don't worry about me. Are you crazy, boy? You'll catch pneumonia in those wet things. Hey, what are you doing? Get away! Don't touch me! What's all the commotion? Luna, he... Oh my stars and comets, he's a woman! So what if I am? You got a problem with that? Of course not, but why were you trying to hide it? When I was just a lad, or lass, a pirate band took me in. Been one of them ever since. Yeah, so? Well, would you want to be the only girl on a ship full of pirates? Thought from the start that you were awfully pretty for a man. Anyhow, make fun of me for being a woman and I'll shiver your timbers but good. Whatever you say. That's right. Now I'm turning in, and you louts had best do the same. Now, the reveal that Captain Ferris is a woman. I mean, now that we see, like, the long, flowing hair, it's pretty obvious, although, you know, it's an androgynous look. Some of the sprites, however, do kind of spoil that fact. Her Black Mage robes, for instance, are the same as other female characters, not the male characters who wear pants. And in addition, in the iOS port of the game, the old iOS port that came out a few years ago, that they delisted, you could get spoiled on it kind of easily because a lot of her sprites actually kind of show a bit of a prominent bust. Slept like a log. Rise and shine, dullards, time's a-wasting. I guess with this, we can also talk a little bit about how the Amano artwork for these characters looks very different from how the characters look in-game. Her tone still smacks of machismo to me. No point in trying to change her. Ferris is who she is. That's for certain. A lot of the character, and I mean, to be fair, a lot of Amano's character artwork is very different from how the characters look in game. It's pretty noticeable in this game, though. It's pretty noticeable. Mostly because, like, none of the characters in Amano's artwork have, vibrant pink hair. They're mostly, like, blonde, actually. Blonde and white hair, but... whatever, we got our save point. Everyone's fully healed, so there's no real point in, like, using a tent or anything. And everyone's got a lot of MP, so let's make this last stretch. I actually like the Amano artwork for Ferris a lot, though. I think it's a good-looking design. Alright, not much here, except for more skeletons. Do you guys know that there is a skeleton inside you? It's true. The Aquabats told me. And have they ever lied to me about anything? I don't know. They probably haven't. They're superheroes. Nothing over here, but it does teach you that you can jump on these rocks. But if we go down here, hey, more rocks to jump on. And more weird slug things. What are they supposed to be? I guess they're like slugs, like water elemental slugging mans, but I don't know which end's their face and which end's their ass. No one knows, it's a mystery. Maybe the more detailed sprites from the iOS version will have something for us. I know a lot of people didn't like the iOS version, and it makes a lot of sense, all things considered, because the enemy sprites and the backgrounds look gorgeous. The character sprites and the UI are dog shit. Anyway, obtained a world map. A map of the world. Now, if we press the Y button, we obviously see the map of the dungeon, but we can also see everywhere we've been, including our current location, and all the towns and locations we've been to. And even see the location of transportation. Inside here are 3 treasure chests that all contain good stuff. And hey, the Mind Flusher, which I think is an enemy that only appears in a couple rooms in this dungeon, mainly this and the world map room, so they only appear inside this ship. You'd think, oh, since they're rare enemies, they probably got something good, or they're probably difficult. No, not really. They're just kinda rare. And even then, I wouldn't say that they're rare as much as they are just remote. Because you'll encounter them all the time in this place. I say, not getting an encounter with them. The game just wanted to prove me wrong. There we go, ledge on fire. That doesn't do much, but you know what will? And hey, black and white magic level 2 now. So if we decide to change jobs, we can now cast Cure and stuff with the other jobs. Alright, another ship. Partly submerged. But what do you think is inside this chest? The answer is... ladies and gentlemen, draw the rest of the fucking owl. It brought the ship all the way up. And now we're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from the end. We're probably going to want to make sure that we're prepared, however, because we are going to get into a boss fight here in a bit. Although, thankfully, it's not a particularly difficult boss fight. It is a little bit tricky, though, and it does have some more trickery with that ATB gauge. I think everyone's fine. I'm gonna optimize just to make sure. Yeah, we should be fine. This fight doesn't usually hit too hard. On the shore! We're almost out of there. Something's fishy about this place, and it ain't the smell of cod. It's the smell of... my mom? Bart's, come closer. Mom. Come here, my cherub. Father! Lena? Ah. Grandpa, let's play. Here's the kicker, though. Who's that? I just can't remember. It's all an illusion, set up by this very tall woman, the Siren. Let us eat your soul. Become one of us. Never, demon. Oh ho, I didn't expect any of you to escape the effects of my magic. Greetings, I am Siren. I'm afraid your companions' souls now belong to me. Still, I'm feeling generous. I could be convinced to spare yours if you ran home quietly. What's that plane overhead? You've got opinions too? Okay, I think the plane overhead is telling me not to give in. You think I would abandon these kids? Fat chance, Missy. Why would you risk your life for these people? Because they're my friends. Don't be fooled by her trickery. Open your eyes. Blunk. Plunk. Plunk. Bart's sideways sprite looks like he's got a monobrow. Their souls returned. Remember, if your friends are in danger, all you really need to do is sock them in the jaw. It works every time. Uh-oh, here she comes. She's a man-eater. Alright, the Siren is a pretty interesting boss fight, honestly. Pretty interesting for like an early fight. Basically, she's going to be switching between two phases. Here in this form, she can heal herself, and she's weak to physical attacks. So you're going to want to stack on as many physical attacks as you can while she's here, although Galuf isn't going to do much of anything, and then she's going to switch to the undead. This isn't just a change in sprite, it's also a change in her abilities and her weaknesses. While in this form, physical attacks aren't going to do that much damage, but magic certainly is. And in fact, healing spells and fire are going to do a lot of damage to the Siren. Siren's also going to try to poison our party members, which is probably why the game gave us a bunch of antidotes beforehand. I said this fight's interesting, but the fight's not like super hard or anything, it's just a cool idea for a fight. And Final Fantasy V kinda does this a lot, changing various weaknesses or giving bosses multiple phases. It was kind of the first game to do that for the Final Fantasy series. Like, some bosses had, like, multiple phases, but they were fought as separate fights usually. Like Dark Elf into Dark Dragon. Here, however, I mean, they do a lot of cool changing stuff, and it's cool. Got a bronze shield for that. Gonna be very nice for Bart's. Galuf, you saved us. I owe you my life. Don't sweat it. Aw, you're blushing. I'm doing nothing of the sort. I'm flexing. Alright, buff old man. Oop, right, we're poisoned. Hang on. Because I didn't get Poisona. We do have a lot of gil now. And now we are past the ship graveyard. I am going to use a tent before we do anything, because some of these monsters out here might kill me. And I don't want that to happen. Alright, where are we going on this continent? The answer is to the south. Not to the west, to the south. You! It's the cute little thing! I love this thing, it's very cute. This design was actually done by Tetsuya Nomura. I don't know if this is the first game that Nomura worked on, but I know that this is one of the first games to widely use a lot of Nomura's designs, at least for the enemies. He did a lot of the concept sketching for what would eventually become the final sprites. So, game's also a pretty cool little bit of history in that regard. Our actual main objective is to go through the forest up north to the North Mountain. But before we do that, I actually want to go down to this town here. Ooh, we've got Bighorn. Bighorn can deal a lot of damage, but he's got a catch. Bighorn is afraid of fire. Which I didn't demonstrate because I accidentally cooked him alive. But Bighorn, if you cast a fire spell on him, will actually run away. So it's kind of a neat little mechanic there. Yeah, I got plenty of stuff here. Welcome to the town of Carwin, which has, I think, my favorite town music in the game. It's a nice, light little tune. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna get equipment and then items to help us out. Or you know what? First, let's get some magic. There's a magic shop here. Might as well get some more spells. Blizzard, yes please. Sleep, alright. Poisona, Silence, and Protect. So now, we've got quite a few different spells for us to use. Cure, Poisona, Silence, Protect, and Libra was in one of the other towns, or in Tool, so we can go back there later. It's like a Fire, Blizzard, Thunder, and Sleep. Nice little motley crew. What's that about a Spellblade? Don't worry about it yet. Don't worry about it. There's a lot of abilities for us to get. I should actually prioritize armor, probably. A little bit of survivability here. Alright, we got a bronze shield from that boss fight. We've also got bronze armor, bronze helm, copper cuirass, and cotton robe. So, let's equip all of those. And we can start getting rid of some of our kind of lesser equipment. I think we can start getting rid of like some daggers now. If only it's sorted well. I'm gonna get rid of a broadsword, all the leather armors, and I think that'll do. And here, dagger, longsword, rod, and staff. I'll grab the longsword for Bart's, why not? There we go. Now I've got 22 attack and 51 strength. We're gonna be doing some pretty good damage here. Actually, let's check everyone's stats here. Bart's is looking good. Got the 15 evasion from the shield, but he's slow as heck because of that weight. No low agility. Lena is probably doing alright. What level is she? She's level 7. I accidentally hit the capture button. Level 7, so she's got an attack stat of 14. Galuf, looking pretty good, high magic stat. Ferris, very high magic stat. Looking good right now. While we're here as well, might as well stock up on a couple more items. Never mind, we can't stock up on any more items. That's right, I just used all my money on helpful things. So, I guess it's time to explore Carwyn a little bit. Forget if Carwyn has a pub to go to. I think it does. Yeah, there we go. Let's get that next piano level. Play the piano? Yeah, we've got some scales going there. When I used to play piano, every time I would do that dance after learning something. It was really weird. You know, I'm gonna check the pots and the barrels around town for some things. Ooh, wonder what's over there on that side. Well, we don't have the ability to see things right now, but put our face into enough walls, and hey, there's 1,000 gil just waiting there. Check around a bit more, and the bartender seems nonplussed about it. Did you hear? A meteorite fell near Tycoon. Too bad it didn't land on my mother-in-law. Alright, yeah, now we've got some room for items, so I'm going here. There's not much else to do other than just stock up. Carwyn is a port town, but unfortunately, with the wind not blowing, that means there's no ships going. Don't you know? And I'll get some antidotes too, because we're going into an area that's gonna have some poison. No one wants to deal with poison. It's a bad time. Let's get ourselves out of here. Alright, our objective is to head up north to the North Mountain. Okay, well first off, our objective is to turn this warthog into bacon. I don't care when you were a young warthog. He flees away at the sight of fire. There's just a lot of weird little quirks there in Final Fantasy V, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's so cool. I know it's not a story-based game in comparison to like 4 or 6, but I mean, it's got some cool gameplay. Yo, this gameplay is fire, I say as it's mostly just pressing the A button. There's a lot of games with fire gameplay that's just pressing the A button. Wait, everyone's already healed. What? This one for certain they weren't, but... Oh, you know what? I probably healed in the last battle and immediately forgot about it. Because I have very good memory. Tatos here, by the way, are the first enemy in the game with an evasion rate. Some enemies are going to be evading our attacks now, but normally we have kind of 100% accuracy. Now it's looking a little bit more like 95. Or it might even be 90% accuracy. I don't actually remember its evasion off the top of my head. I just remember it's the first monster in the bestiary with an evasion stat. So let's go to the North Mountain, which has a really cool theme, honestly. It's a nice rollicking theme. And hey, we got slugs and headstones. Headstones are immune to our current magic. And in fact, I think they're even immune to aura level magic. And they're made out of rock. Not undead, so healing spells do heal them. Basically, whenever you see headstones, just kinda get everything else around them out of the way and then knock them out. They have high defense, but thankfully they don't have very high HP, so a single hit should do it from some of your stronger guys. Let's grab you, and okay, I know what you're thinking. Tails, there's a suspicious looking square there. And I know, yeah, there's a suspicious looking square there. You might be thinking, okay, well with that, obviously we use the Find Passages ability of a thief and check it out. There's nothing. That square's just like that. I don't know why. Is that the square that made this video game? I don't know. But regardless, let's get our regular party setup back up. I'll eventually start experimenting around with other job setups. But for now, I want a little bit of stability early on before I start going crazy. So we gotta get these slugs out of the way. These guys do have access to a nasty attack called Corner, which is like a double damage attack. Not that nasty, but it's basically the enemy's equivalent of a critical hit. Sometimes they'll use it, sometimes they just won't. That time, 2 of them used it. Yeah, beating them up. If we go over here, it's a gold needle. Gold needles will get rid of Petrify. Kitty! Hey! Aw, it's so cute and fluffy, I just have to destroy it. Because famously, I do not like cats. I hate cats. I hate them. Famously, I never would like a cat ever. Jokes aside though, they are a very cute enemy. Gold needles get rid of Petrify, but they also kill stone enemies in one hit in a lot of games. And I think that's also something that started in this game. Because I don't remember if it was a thing in 4. I don't think it was. But anything that's like a stone statue or one of those headstones can easily be killed by a single gold needle, which is great for grinding a certain enemy later. Galacats, meanwhile, don't really have that much to them other than they have an evasion rate, and that's about it. Like, Cat Scratch is a crit attack, so it's gonna do a lot of damage if it hits, but other than that, not too much noticeable. Should die in like 1 or 2 hits, provided you get those hits. And Lena is mastered barehanded. That, if we equip it to another job, will allow them to do the same damage that a monk does using just their muscles and no swords. What's with these rectangles too? You see that it's not like a weird encoding error or anything in your video, it's... They're just there. They're just there. The pixel remasters aren't foolproof. More slugs. The slugs are also not foolproof. Now while we're here, I may as well cast a spell. Let's go with Protect. Protect is a pretty nifty spell. It takes, basically makes it so that you take half damage from physical attacks. Very, very useful. Sadly, however, there's not much you can do with it. Or, you know, there's not much you can do to get it on every party member. You have to cast it on every party member at once. You may have also noticed that these guys tried to use an attack called Flash. Flash is a blue magic spell we can learn, but these guys have no MP. If you want to give them MP, you can always give them an ether. Just see more weird quirks in this game. I love how weird this game is sometimes. Also, first instance of damage floors in this game. See these purple things? No, you don't. Ignore them, step around them. Otherwise, you will be poisoned. And it poisons all party members, not just the party member in the lead. Which means, if you step on one, you better have antidotes. You can tank the damage if you want to just get past them, but I'd personally rather avoid them. And hey, here's our safe spot. How about we use a tent here? That's what I intend to do. That's not actually the sentence, but whatever. Alright, I'm gonna put another safe spot down there. And it's time to climb the mountain. And hey, there's a helmet. Specifically, it's King Tycoon's helmet. Obtained a mithril helm. And a poisoned arrow. Lena! Oop. You're not getting across there. Oh. I came here after that windrake, but I seem to have caught something much more valuable. Wait, you'd hunt a windrake? Of course. Their horns fetch quite a high price on the black market. Oh. But I've caught no less than the Princess of Tycoon instead. Yes, you'll make a lovely souvenir for my husband. Let her go, you addle-pated, foul-complexioned scofflaw! Sick Kung Fu kick! Oop. And she falls. Ferris! Oops, I guess he slipped. Pity. What? Oh, I didn't slip. I can climb rocks. Look at me. Tie a rope. And everyone's over. Lena, hang on. Oh, annoying little twerps ruining my plans. Fine. It just means I'll have to crush all four of you. Boss fight time against Magissa. She isn't really that much to deal with, but she can be a little bit of a hassle. Mostly because she's not alone. Now you might be thinking, she looks alone, but trust me, she's not. She's not alone. She has backup, and that backup is her giant hulking husband, Forza. That's right. She married a car. Forza is basically your formal boss introduction to the front and back row. Since he's in the front row, he's going to be taking more damage than Magissa, who's now going to be taking less damage. Of course, that doesn't matter if you just cast magic on her. I'm gonna protect on her healer too. Also, use up and down to target enemies and not left and right. I'm used to left and right now because I've been testing an RPG Maker project. But, use up and down. Up and down is nice. Up, down, and all around. And there we go, Magissa's down. So we can stack on more damage on Forza. Forza doesn't really have much of anything other than just a physical attack, so he's kind of a joke. See if Thunder does anything to him. Just 50 damage. Like he's durable, he's a bulky boy, but there we go. He's gone. We got a whip and a power drink. We got steroids, ladies and gentlemen, because you famously drink steroids. Lena, or Ferris, thank you. Alright, and going up here... Have to check something real quick. Is the Windrake, Hiryu. He's hurt pretty bad. Hiryu, don't worry, I'll take care of you. Lena, what are you doing? Don't come any closer. I'll be fine. I just need to reach the dragon grass. One of the guys in the pub was talking about how dragon grass grows here, but so does this poison grass. Choking it out. Give the dragon grass to Hiryu. Quickly. Munch, munch, munch. It's a cute mouth animation. Please, get well. Why, stars and garters. You're out of your gourd, young lady. That was insanely reckless. But hey, at least Hiryu's safe. And he uses his Wind Drake healing magic. Either that or... I don't know, he presses the off switch on the poison with his nose. Goes, boop. Hiryu, thank you. Looks like you're both hale and hearty again. Let's saddle up. Actually, I don't really like heights. So funny. Your face, kiddo. Now hop on. We're gonna put you on the dragon. And Hiryu rides into the sky, with Bartz and Co. in tow. And now welcome to our new mode of transportation, Wind Drake. Wind Drake is basically an airship of sorts, but can't pass over mountains. They're too tall. You can land on any patch of grass. Now with the Wind Drake, we're also free to go anywhere we want kind of in this area. So we can actually go back to previous areas and collect some things we missed. Which is good because I want to get stuff from Tool real quick. But since we can't cross over mountains, we can't leave this kind of area. Right, it was a spell. Libra! Let's get that ability to scan. Not that Libra is going to be super useful, but it's going to fill up a nice little hole in our magic. Oh, and hey, enemies. How about we show them how strong we are now? That was a good fight. That was a great fight. Let's get back on Hiryu and actually head to where we need to go now. Thankfully, where we need to go is over here, south of where Morth Mountain was. So we're actually supposed to go from North Mountain and Carwin over here to this area. There is the Walse Tower, where the water crystal is being held. But we can't go there right now. If we try to go there right now, they're going to try to scare us off. So instead, we've got the town of Walse and the castle of Walse. But now is not the time to go to either of them. Now is the time to end the episode. Thank you guys for watching. I'm TalesFlyRaga, and if you liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button that says, hey, I liked the video. It helps a lot when dealing with the horrible Wind Drake hunting menace that is the YouTube Eldritch algorithm. Eldritch algorithm. I was about to say Eldritch Abomination, and then I realized, wait, no, I already did that bit. It's the algorithm. I don't know how to end videos. Bye.